So it is this time in our service where we go into silence, a time of prayer and meditation, where we take the time to connect and have our oneness in spirit. I invite all of you, if you are willing, to just relax. Allow your thoughts to quietly rest. Allow your bodies to relax into the chair. Finding that peace. Feeling that power. Opening your hearts to the truth that is within you. Remembering that it is in this time that all the magic happens. That the questions that might be going on in your mind get answered. This is the time that oneness and peace and love is felt, affirmed, and experienced. To breathe. Remembering that God made no mistakes. That you are here to be that expression of God, that expression of good. And allowing yourself this time of internal peace, of allowing yourself to go inward. You are embracing the true meaning of who you are. As we bring our loved ones into this time, we also would like to remember Reverend Megan. And we just hold her in the highest light. And we don't see her pain, but we affirm her truth. For our family and friends that we would like to bring into this place of wonder and awe. We affirm the truth of who they are. We see the good in them, whether they can see it or not. Each one of you are magnificent children of God. And you are here to create and to be and to experience and to share that gift with others. As we move into the time of silence, we become aware of our body, our thoughts, and our actions. And with good judgment, we release anything that is not supporting us. Let's rest in the silence. And as we bring our thoughts back to the room, remember that peace you might have felt while you were in the silence. And know that peace is you, and that is the truth. We give thanks for all that we have. And we celebrate feeling empowered by the gift of the Christ within each one of us. And so it is. Amen. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, because I don't need this mic either. But it is helpful on occasion. So this morning I want to talk to you about finding the truth that is within each one of you. Finding your own truth. And how do we go about finding that truth? My definition of truth for you is that you are beautiful, magnificent children of God. I said it in prayer that there are no mistakes. God made absolutely no mistakes, and each one of you are a shining example of that truth. Today I want you to remember that everything that you do, everything that you say, is who you are. And I want you to be able to embrace the fact that of what I see in you, others see in you. And that if your thoughts and your actions are not a mirroring of the truth of being magnificent children of God, I invite you to look at that. So how do we look at that? How do we become aware of when we're not being our authentic selves? Why is it that we always question who we are? How many times have you asked others for advice knowing you know the truth the whole time? Anybody? You could say, what I'm thinking can't be the truth. I have to ask you. I'm going to ask Nancy. Nancy, is this true?
It is true.
It is true. Right?
Sometimes we're just checking.
Sometimes. We on occasion, I'm not going to say always because that's not the truth either, but on occasion we seek outside of ourselves to find the answer. Because we sometimes forget that all we have to do is to go within and discover the truth of what we need to do or say or be. I question often, is this the right road to take? Am I on the right path? Am I supposed to be a licensed unity teacher, minister? Am I a good mother? Am I a good friend? Have I been a good daughter? But if I go get quiet and go within, the answer is always right there for me. And sometimes my answer is no. Would you agree? And you could say, sometimes I have not been a good friend. Sometimes I have not been a good employee. Sometimes I have not been a good partner. So what do we do about it? We first become aware of this action. Last time I was here, we talked about our thinking, our thoughts, how our thoughts create our reality. But let's take it a different step. That not only do our thoughts create our reality, but sometimes to become aware, we have to, it's our actions that make it real for us. Did I say that correctly? Sometimes we don't even know what our thought is until our actions have already happened. That's what I want to say. Is that the truth? You've already done something and you went, ooh, what was that? Who was that? Who was that masked person? That wasn't me, right? So our actions are what brings awareness to our lives. So what actions are you taking in your life? Has there been something recently in your life that you have done that made you stop and have pause and go, wow, what was that? Did I just say that? Was that my out loud voice that just happened here? Right? So we stop and we pause and we become aware of our actions. So what about that action? Because we become aware, does that mean it's a bad action that just happened? That whatever we did was a bad thing? I would have to argue no. That to become aware of who we are isn't necessarily meaning you've done something wrong, but you might have done something right. And I would challenge each one of you to believe that your actions are doing something right. That if you believe this action is doing the right thing, then you're going to receive the right results. So what I mean by, is this action a right thing? You ever sat and you're in a heated moment, or you're talking with somebody, and all of a sudden you're having this deep conversation about somebody else's life that's going on, and all of a sudden these words of wisdom just come out of your mouth, and you think, wow, where did that come from? Right? So these words of wisdoms are coming from within and coming without. And all of a sudden you become aware of, wow, I just did a transformation of how I believe and think. Because if I'm helping this word of wisdom that came out to your friend or to your coworker has helped them to move beyond their situation, and you've become aware of that, that is a transformation within yourself. You have become aware of how you are helping somebody. And usually that awareness is something that you have already experienced. It's your wisdom, right? So it's or something you've already experienced, and now you are sharing that with somebody else. Does that make sense? I like good awarenesses. The ones that I don't particularly care for are the ones that aren't so good. Those aren't my favorite awarenesses to come. Example, I have a friend who is in a separation of a relationship. And that actually, it's not a friend, it's my daughter. Okay. And she's my friend too, but she is in the process of dissolving her relationship with her fiance, and I caught myself trying to fix it. You ever been there? Mm-hmm. Right. So if you're trying to fix, I'm going to go off of me for a minute, and then if you're trying to fix something, are you in God's light? Probably not, right? If you're trying to fix somebody, are you speaking the truth of God? Maybe. Well, the odds are pretty good no. Because if you're trying to fix somebody, are you allowing them to have their own awarenesses? Are you allowing them to experience life as life presents it to them? Well, I was trying to fix my daughter. I wanted to fix how he was treating her. I wanted him to go to therapy. I wanted her to go to therapy. I wanted my granddaughter to come live with me. I wanted him to get a job. I wanted her to continue to go to school. I'm exhausted just thinking about it. So where in your life can you say that you are trying to fix somebody else, to become aware of their life? Right? So what actions are you taking right now in your life to fix somebody else? And why? Why do you want to fix them? They're not broken, right? God didn't create anything that was broken. We can't fix other people's actions or behaviors. We can become aware of how we're trying to fix somebody. And now becoming aware of it is also then making that transformational shift. And you get to discern what is yours to do and what is not. In my case, it was mine to step back and breathe and take the emotional out of it become detached from it and support them in the loving, best way that I could. Have you found yourself recently where you have had to step back and detach yourself from a situation? So just that, if nothing else, so that you could breathe. Anybody? Am I alone on this one? Right? We have those situations in our life. Why do we want to do that? Why do we always want to fix?
Because we care.
Yes.
And it comes out that way.
I love
That's
that.
what codependent.
Yeah. She said because we're codependent.
Amen.
Yes.
Seriously.
You know, I'm a recovering codependent. I know that that's our need, the divine nature is want to fix, right? We want to fix anything that's outside of ourselves. The real work happens when we go within. That's right. And in unity, I absolutely believe that if we're grounded in faith, unity in life, if we're grounded in faith, whatever your faith is. Okay, as long as your faith is good, whatever your faith is, that if you're grounded in that faith, that is what you're going to experience in your life. That no matter what happens, no matter what awareness that you have, no matter if you have done something that doesn't feel right in your heart, or somebody else has done something that doesn't feel right in your heart, but that you are grounded in truth, that you can get through anything. Do you believe that? Yes. So I invite you right now to think of the one thing that you have done recently where you have tried to fix outside of yourself. Think about that.
Only one.
Only one? Okay, we have a list. There's a piece of paper going around. Everybody just go ahead and write that down. And I want you to ground yourself. Now you have this idea, right, where you wanted to fix a situation in your life. You become aware that now, oh God, I've been trying to fix this. And now I want you to actually ground yourself in truth. In the truth that you know brings you happiness and divine peace. Are you grounded? Can you feel it? Shift your feet on the floor if you need. Feel that. Now tell me, does it feel right to want to fix outside of yourself? Do you think you need to reach outside of yourself to fix or be fixed? Or is that truth that you're grounded in giving you the foundation that you need to go with the flow? So let's say, now that you have this grounding, this faith, let's say that you still say, yes, I still need to fix. This is where the work gets to really fun, and it gets juicy, and it gets transformational. I'm teaching a class, Finding Yourself in Transition. Fabulous book, except for when you teach a class, you typically go through the same thing that you're teaching. That's not so much fun, but it is good experience at that rate. So when you're finding yourself, because it is truly in a transition that you're finding yourself, right? You're grounded in this faith. You're aware that you're trying to fix somebody, or maybe somebody's trying to fix you, right? But you're grounded in your faith. You're grounded in the truth that is within yourself, and you still find that you still want to reach out of yourself to feel better, to feel comfort. Maybe that reaching out is food. Maybe that reaching out is sex. Maybe that reaching out, it's a bad three-letter word. Maybe the reaching out is shopping. Maybe the reaching out is doing anything that you can do outside of yourself so you don't have to feel. Right? What are you going to do about that? Start to feel, right? You start feeling what's going on. But you first have to become aware of it. Well, what are you feeling? Why are you feeling this? What actions had you taken part in to bring up these feelings? Do any of you believe that anybody can make you feel any way. Sounds good when you can say that, don't you? You made me feel this way. You did it, not me. Well, finding yourself in transition, he talks about the rites of passage. And our teens do the rites of passage quite often, because the rites of passage is about, we take our kids and we form them. We form these thoughts, right? These are the thoughts that are going on in our heads, and somehow we have formed this thought that we have to reach outside of ourselves to find the answers, right? So the teens, in the rites of passage, in this culture, when they teach this, is where as adults we teach our kids what they need to know. We feed them information, we give them thoughts, we give them tools to work with, and we say, okay, that's the first step. The next step is then we throw them out into the wilderness and say, here, go do it. Take all of this knowledge that you have just learned and get out there and go out into the wilderness and fend for yourself. Right? So here you are. So we've taken, right? So if you're believing you have to fix outside of yourself, you've taken all of these ideas that have been imprinted in your mind. Right? You've taken all of these ideas that have been imprinted in your mind, and you are seeking outside of yourself to find the answers. So what do you have to do with that? This is what one of the teens told me. You have to strip down your old beliefs, and you have to start to rebuild. You have to start to rebuild your own belief system. So when you're thrown out into the wilderness, this is where you get to strip down your old beliefs. The ones that aren't supporting you and moving you forward. You get to let go of the actions that are not supporting you in moving forward. The actions of trying to control somebody else, trying to determine what's best for them when you can't figure out what's best for yourself, but you're still going to figure out what's best for somebody else, right? You're going to take that and you're going to create new. Isn't that beautiful? Teens are so wise. I might have ad-libbed a little, but teens are very wise. And they say that the belief system, then what they want to encourage them to do, or what they're encouraged to do, is have a belief system that is encouraging, supportive, and creative. Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah.
All right. We can be encouraging, supportive, and creative. I can do that. And then what is the last thing that you need to do? And the rites of passage is then you come back and you share that experience. You share that wilderness that you had just went through, your new awareness with others. So you're stripping down. So what I'm asking you to do is that if your awareness is that those thoughts and beliefs and actions are not supporting yourself or others, if you're not allowing others to be exactly who they need to be to become the best that they can be, that you release and strip down those old beliefs. And then you get down and you come back and you get down to why you believe this way. Why do you believe this way? So my question to you is, in your life, in that one thing that you're not letting go of, why do you believe you need to hang on to it? This is the part where discernment comes into play. You get to decide, well, why? Well, because it feels good. That's why I shot, because it feels good. Does it? Isn't that a temporary fix? Because I eat. Why? Because it's just a habit. He talks about it, Robert Brumman, he talks about it as a mechanistic routine that we have. We just automatically go right into it. It's because it's something that's already ingrained in us. It's a mechanical, we become robots, and we just do the same thing over and over again because that is what we know how to do. But how do you release that? How do you let that go? How do you discern what beliefs are true and what beliefs are false? You get quiet. You go within. One way I would invite you to do is start journaling. If you find that you are not letting somebody to live their life, or you are not living your life fully because somebody else might be telling you that you can't live your life fully, are those beliefs in action supporting you and moving forward to being the absolute best that you can be? Are you in prayer and meditation on a daily basis? How many of you pray on a daily basis? How many of you get quiet and go into meditation on a daily basis? Beautiful. That is the time that you connect and you find the truth that is within you. That you celebrate and reignite the tools of awareness. You become aware of your actions. You become aware of your thoughts. And you make the decision at that time to change them. You make the decision. By journaling, you can see, repeat behaviors. If you're journaling, you can see repeat behaviors and thoughts. You start being mindful of what you say to somebody else. You start to say, I am here to live my life fully as an expression of God. Say that with me. I am here to live my life fully as an expression of God. Doesn't that feel good? Isn't that better than saying, nope, I've got to control what's going on? Well, I invite you, each one of you, to just take a minute to watch your thoughts. Be mindful of your actions. Be mindful of how you help another person coming out of a transition, a difficult time in their life. And see, did that feel good? Or didn't feel right? Was my way of thinking I helped somebody, did their light bulb go off or did my light bulb go off? Right? Am I really supporting myself by keeping others down, by trying to control and to fix them? Am I really supporting myself if I let others control me and dictate to me on how I need to think, feel, and act? So be aware, become aware of the truth, and use discernment. It's a powerful, powerful tool that we have. It's the way that we can judge whether our actions, our thoughts, our words, our living situations, whatever that is in the highest and best for ourselves and for the loved ones around us. With that, I hope and wish for you that you are able to live a happier life, that you are able to overcome any situation, and that you fully ground yourself into the truth. Because that's the truth that I see. I see you beautiful, I see you whole, and I see you brilliant.